Hello, welcome to the channel. My name is Mia, and I am the coach that helps single moms turn their gifts into power, purpose, and profit. This is going to be quick. I wanted to come on and speak about forgiveness, and forgiveness being the secret hack to unlocking your abundance and your blessings. As a single mom, there's a lot of things that have transpired to get you to that point, right? And a lot of what is obvious is that there's likely a lot of pain that transpired or that was a manifestation of those events. Okay. And because of it, um, there was resentment, or there was unforgiveness, or there was anger, there was hurt, and just a lot of devastation. Right. Um, and regardless of what your story has been, that seems to be the common denominator. There are essentially demons that we are having to slay in order to get to the other side of the low point that we reach when things don't go our way. And so there's a very high level of forgiveness that needs to take place now. Often, and in my story, that forgiveness started with my parents. And particularly when you speak about male and female interaction, the first male that I needed to forgive was my father, because he was not there during my childhood years. He didn't raise me, and I was actually scared of him. So, of course, growing up into adulthood, there's all of that. And the amount of time that it has been allowed to fester and marinate and just cement itself within me. And so I reached a point where I completely isolated, and I was fairly isolated growing up, but when I became an adult, when I became a mom, um, you know, I took myself to a point where I completely isolated, and I needed it. It was necessary. Okay. Because it's in the isolation where purpose is found. And so I don't blame myself. I don't guilt myself. I don't allow others to do that to myself as well. But it was in the isolation that the realization came that I did need to forgive more than I had said I did, and more than I actually did. Oftentimes we say we forgive somebody, we verbally say it, but it's not really internal, you know? And one thing that I did realize, extreme independence is a trauma response, especially for a young girl who feels like she is not safe and nobody's really there for her. And that's what I had subscribed to. I had subscribed to extreme independence, you guys, like extreme. Okay. But it's in the journey, it's in where I've reached now, that I see forgiveness as allowing someone to help you. And that was a major hurdle for me. That was a major realization, but it was also a major piece of the pie that I have been missing. And it sounds kind of counterintuitive. I mean, you're talking about a single mom who doesn't have help, who is sad that she doesn't have help, who's frustrated, who's angry that she doesn't have help. But her unforgiveness internally doesn't allow help to, one, come in. And if it does try to come in, doesn't want it because of emotions. So you're saying you want this thing, and it's trying to be provided for you, but because of your inability to release the emotions attached to whoever is trying to provide it for you, you block it. So that's the definition of blocking your blessings, right? And oftentimes that inability to forgive comes in, well, you have not suffered like I suffered, or you deserve to be reprimanded or ridiculed way more than I see that you have, and I'll speak to that in, you don't know somebody's demons. You don't know what they think about and what they weep about late at night by themselves in their bed. You don't know. And you tangibly often will know because of their fruit, but sometimes the fruit is not manifested in the physical. Sometimes the fruit is rotten, and you won't see the fruit because people do a very good job of hiding the fruit. So it's not up to us to say how much that person needs to be punished for what they did or did not do to us. And it's in that trying to facilitate their punishment that keeps us bound. And so one thing that I realized recently was that in my quest to forgive and allowing the first man in my life to provide for me, that brought healing to me, but that brought healing to him, because it's my understanding that males feel something about being able to provide, right? They feel like there's purpose in that, there's power in that, there's presence in that. And I'm not a male, I don't know that feeling, so I can only put words to it as I see it, but there's something in that, and it clicked that allowing a male, and whoever it is, whoever raised you or whoever tried to help you, whoever, you know, if they're trying to help you from a genuinely good place and you've prayed about it and you know what I mean, if you know that the time is safe, if you know that it's a safe situation and you're okay and they honestly genuinely want to help you, it's time to release the resentment and forgive them, because in your forgiving, in being able to receive, which is what females are supposed to do, this is what we're wired to do, there is a unspoken exchange that releases on both ends. And so I'm speaking to the extreme independent woman who actually was forced into that as a result of trying to protect herself and trying to ward off any instances in the future that may resemble a time or times where she was not protected, she didn't feel safe, she wasn't provided for, and letting all that go. Forgiveness truly is the hack to blessings, to connectedness, to power, to purpose. You have to forgive, and you also have to forgive yourself if there's anything that's holding you up. You know, if you're guilting yourself for being a single mom, if you're guilting yourself for being a single dad, or, you know, guilting yourself for going through a divorce, from a divorce, you know, you really should have, but there's still guilt. You know, forgiveness is mandatory off from jump. Like, that's just something that needs to take place. So when I speak about purpose and profit and power, like, okay, but have you forgiven? Like, let's start at zero. Who do you need to forgive? That's actually a coaching question, like a legit coaching question that people pay thousands of dollars for. Who do you need to forgive? So the conversation of forgiveness is a pillar for me this week. And so I wanted to come on here and share it as it's real time. Okay. And that's it. So if you want to connect with me, my link is below. You can schedule a call. We can hop on a call. And I have various offers for the single mom entrepreneur trying to perfect her message, trying to be clear on her customer, her avatar, the content creation, the habits, the consistency. I'm here for you. You can schedule a 2-hour power call. That's what that's for. Or we can do more long-term one-on-one. Some people prefer one-on-one. It allows space. I create space for people to think. I create space for people to be safe and to discover themselves. That's really, you know, what this whole thing is about. Because in order to go on the path for purpose, you have to have clarity. So that is the video today. But I hope it helps someone, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.